What will you do if God doesn't give you what you're looking for? Or what you think you deserve anyway? Will you still serve Him? You probably heard this before. Turn with me to 1 Samuel 13, verse 14. Again, that's 1 Samuel 13, verse 14. A little background, talking to God, God talking through Samuel to Saul, the first king of Israel. And verse 14 is kind of a condemnation, a judgment. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord sought out a man after his own heart, and appointed him ruler of his people, because he have not kept the Lord's command. Okay, that's all well and good. But what is a man after God's own heart? Like, what did God mean? When we think of, I think I've already thought this constantly in my mind too. When we think of that, a man after God's own heart, we think of someone super special. We think of someone super steady, super studious. Not that David couldn't have been all those things, but notice what it says at the very end. And appointed him ruler of the people, because you've not kept the Lord's command. God looking for, as he always is doing, God is looking for someone who keeps his commands. God is looking for someone who honors him. Saul was part of why Saul kept him not said obtuse you anything in the scriptures, but I mean part of why Saul kept the Amalekites cattle, and he said that for sacrifices and everything there to honor God. But in reality it was for himself. It would say, oh, you get the spoil of the war, you get the spoil of the victory, look how great I am, without acknowledging that without God there would have been no victory in the first place. That's just an aside. That's just my own personal thoughts on the matter. But God was looking for someone who would honor him above all else, not seeking the security for mankind, and hey, David wasn't perfect. David was not perfect. I mean, he broke the Lord's command for adultery and not stealing another man's wife after all. So David was not perfect. God is not looking for perfect people, because he knows we're not. But God is looking for someone who, God gave Saul a direct order, and Saul stood in for it. Whereas when God called David, which I say called, but I don't mean he already knew it. I don't mean he called him red-handed. Yeah, God didn't already know everything that was going on. But when God acts something, like I say, when God acts something, it's for our benefit, not his. So when God called David confessed. David wanted to do penance. Maybe he thought it was a deep, but he did want to do penance. He did prostrate himself before God. Even though David wasn't perfect, he was still a man after God's own heart. I mean, David and him David and God did have a very special connection. Not that God doesn't seek to have a connection with everyone, but through Jesus, after all, we wouldn't have sent Jesus if he didn't want to have that connection. But God and David's relationship was special. It was unlike any other relationship that God has with anybody else. And not to put myself on a pedestal or anything, but I feel like I have that special connection with God, like David had some time. I mean, he gives me insight into things, help me to wait on stuff and so forth. I mean, like I say, don't take that the wrong way, not to elevate myself, but to elevate God, because I'm always amazed that God's provision for us humans on what say about him, even when we don't realize it, even could be even years back, even months back, even something we thought was irrelevant, then God will bring it back in our mind, say you need to say this, you need to become this, you remember that? Well, that happens for a reason. So just like Esther was picked to be queen so she could save her people. So God always provides and makes provision for himself, honesty, always looking for his willingness. And even if God doesn't give you what you want or what you think you deserve, I mean, he's still worthy. I mean, it's not ever about us, it's about him. So never forget the connection you can have. It may not be like David's, but never forget the connection you have with God through Jesus Christ. Because if you still got breath in your lungs, if you woke up this morning, then God's not done with you yet. I mean, you can turn your back on God for so unfortunately, but just remember, God has something more for you, even if you're far away. Even if you're far away from him, he's still the one. He's still the one who puts breath in your lungs every single second of every day. Guys, I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you when I see you.